This video is made for adult collectors because big multicolored scorpion man thing.
I was bringing this thing upstairs and I walked past my mom who was going downstairs and I said to my mom, "Scorpion," and just held this up. My mom looked at it and said, "Ugly," and then kept walking because the colors are really ugly. Okay.
This thing is a lot larger than I thought it was going to be. Like, when I saw an image of this toy about a year and a half ago, I wasn't expecting this to be this big and less than $100. I was so into it when I saw it, and now it's here taking up too much space on my desk, but here is Mr. High Visibility Health and Safety Scorponok. This is Scorponok from Transformers Cyberworld, and he's big and heavy, and I'm gonna put him down now. This thing is a beautiful brick. I know the colors aren't for everyone, but I dig them. With the green and the blue and the bright orange, the bits of gray and silver on the blade, there is a lot hanging off the back, like a lot, but giant ass kid's toy, I guess. It hits all the Scorponok notes though in its design, with this claw that resembles the Earthrise one, the big stomping feet, and the head. I love this head sculpt. It looks fantastic. The visor and the ears and the scowl. He has a facial expression. Thank you. And the visor is adjustable, which is neat. The whole toy just like gives off Energon Scorponok vibes in its colors, but a bit brighter. Actually, it kind of looks more like that BotCon one that came out that had the headmaster. One of the hands is a buzzsaw now. Unfortunately, there is no button to activate the spinning saw. It's just manual, but it is still a cool addition. Would have been nice if there was an optional claw though to swap it out. He does have a giant ass sword. It is a big, clear claw looking sword, and it fits the vibe of a scorpion, so like I like it. He can also interact with all the little guys in multiple different ways, or if you have any core classes, they can also get slapped onto this thing. You can take the two turrets and put them into multiple places with the 5mm ports all over him, and like the giant port they have on the shins. And then you sit the little guys in the turret, and now you have a giant walking battle station man. And he has lights and sounds with batteries included, which I was surprised about that because of this giant warning label on the front that just says the phrase, "Death or serious injury can occur when ingested." Bro, who the hell is eating this monstrosity? Yes, I know it's referring to the batteries, but this is a joke. Please laugh. And yeah, big tall dude, big tall dude that doesn't really do much in the way of posing. So you do not buy this for its articulation because it has none. That's a lie. It has some, but like not a lot. So the first thing I want to talk about real quick when it comes to the articulation is these, because they can swivel right off. And that's because if you look at that 5mm peg, that is tiny. It is not very deep, and they go into the shoulders, but then you're like, oh, I want to move this around. Oh, it comes off. And because you put a lot of force on it when you're like grabbing the shoulder, right? I highly recommend taking them off, because I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but it's got ever so slight stress marks around the peg because of that, because it keeps falling out. So you just got to be careful with these things. I'm gonna take them off for the sake of this articulation segment. The head does not rotate. It feels like it should, but it doesn't go left and right. The visor can go up and down. Shoulders, they can do a full 360, which is actually kind of neat. What just fell? Mechagodzilla fell. The shoulders can go out that far. You do have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. No bicep swivel. You have an elbow swivel instead. This claw can open, and this has the buzzsaw. And that's it. That's all it does. That is it. There is nothing else, nothing in the legs due to how this thing transforms, and nothing in the waist. The neck, again, I feel like this could have rotated because it does that, but it's the plate triggering that mechanism, not the head. So the head could have rotated still. But yeah, that's all he does. Yeah, limited articulation aside, I really like this thing. It's a lot of fun, and I love the way it integrates with the other figures from this line. Now let's make it a scorpion, or what passes as a scorpion, I guess. So its transformation is actually kind of cool. Like, it reminds me a lot of, I don't know if anyone remembers that Grimlock from Age of Extinction, the big mega one-step that they ended up retooling for RID-15. It reminds me of that, because it's got the same friggin' handle and everything. So to start with, we are going to remove the cannons just so they don't fall off. because they will fall off. Then we want to take the arms, straighten them out, and then rotate them up like he's about to surrender. And then we are going to fold the toes in. Then you kind of want to hold it down here. So we're going to hold it, grab it by the handle, push the trigger, and there it goes. And then you fold the legs down on either side, get the sword plugged into the tail, and there you have Scorponok. I like this. I'm gonna do it again, but with the camera down here so you can see it. I like this. I will say going back and forth, or not going back and forth, going forth is fine, except the mechanism doesn't trigger until you manually pop it. And then going back, it does require a lot of strength. I'm not sure if Johnny 6-year-old is gonna have that much strength because it's for 6+ on the box. So it is a bit of a strange mechanism, but I like how it works. It just wish it worked better because it's a bit jank. But once you have all that situated and with the sword back in, we'll bring the guns back and you can plug them into the shoulders right there. He's also covered in 5mm ports, so you could plug it in here if you wanted to. I can't see. There it is. You could plug them in there if you wanted to, but I'm gonna traditional Scorponok it like that. And then he has these little struts under his elbows to keep the front half of the alt mode above the ground, which I like. Something just clicked and I don't know what it was, but there is Scorponok. That's a scorpion. It's just a giant brick with claws, but well, I was gonna say it looks neat, but it's really just him lying down with his arms up. The gimmick transformation though is cool, so I'll take that. The same integration here with the cannons and the figures as the previous mode, but the tail does something kind of neat now. Taking this orange part off and flipping this green part around makes this like seat with handles. You can then sit a figure on it and plug him into the handles, then take the buzzsaw off Scorponok and plug it into the front to have a buzzsaw chopper. Megatron thinks he's Kilo from Ninjago with this bike, but it is so sick. You can also plug the claw in here, but that's not as epic. The claw can go on the tail though and like grip figures and stuff, which is neat. He just ends up missing an arm. I just really like all the different things this does to integrate with the rest of the figures from the line, but he also functions as a good standalone figure to mess with. I like it, and for $60 US, that feels pretty worth it. I mean, it's still on the expensive side, 60 USD or 84 Canadian dollars here, but it's less than $100, which is, I was expecting it to be 100 Canadian dollars and it wasn't. So I like that. If you like big dumb gimmick things, then I'd recommend this, or if you're into the Cyberworld figures. Otherwise, it's just a large expensive figure that doesn't do much for a collector. I would recommend you get Earthrise Scorponok. He got reissued recently. But that's my look at Cyberworld Scorponok. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.